Good afternoon, one and all, and welcome to the video. My name is Saumil Shah. I work as a software engineer at JobTarget. And in this video, I'm going to teach you about asynchronous callback patterns using AWS Step Function, Amazon SQSQ, and a Lambda. Let's see what the architecture looks like. So let me share my screen quickly. Yeah, that should be good. So the whole idea, the whole jargon is basically, whenever we invoke a step function, we send the message to an Amazon SQS queue. And what happens is we basically, as soon as we send a message to an SQS queue, we also pass the token. Okay, so it creates a unique token, right? So we pass the token and the message. Then asynchronously, the Lambda would poll the queue and basically would do their business logic. And the idea is the step function execution would be stopped and it's gonna wait for a heartbeat. The heartbeat means that it's gonna wait for, let's say, 2 days or 1 hour or 3 hours for to basically hear back from Lambda. If it does not hear back from a Lambda, it's gonna time out. But if it does hear back from a Lambda, if he hears back a success, the state's gonna proceed. If it's gonna receive an error, the state's gonna do something. So that's what I'm saying. So let me show you the YAML file. So that's gonna make a little bit sense. So hopefully I can actually zoom out a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna collapse everything and start explaining you here. So we'll do everything in Python, of course. So states. Let me collapse everything. So we have the first state called send message to an SQS. It's a type task, and the resource we are saying that, hey, that's the ARN. We are saying, hey, we want to send a message, and we are saying wait for the task token. That means we are saying that, hey, wait for it. Once you send the message and everything is done, then wait for the person, whoever is gonna invoke you back with the token, right? So that's that, right? Then we say heartbeat is equal to 600 seconds. So that is 600, I guess 15 to 20 minutes. I'm not sure, but it's gonna wait for 20 minutes to say, okay, did he hear back from Lambda? If not, it's gonna time out. So parameters, what data we wanna pass. So that's the queue URL. I just have masked my queue URL. Message body, I'm passing it a variable called my token. I'm constructing a JSON, okay? Then I'm passing it a token, and I'm also passing in the raw input body, whatever I pass in, okay? So basically, this is gonna receive all of these parameters, right? The queue is gonna receive the parameters. After that, what we do is basically, I can actually, yeah, that's my Amazon SQS queue. So if I actually show you, if we go to here, step function job queue, we have a subscription. Basically, a Lambda is a subscriber, right? So as soon as any messages are come, the Lambda is gonna fire up. So basically, it's a Lambda trigger, right? So as I said, it's gonna fire up a Lambda now. Okay, so let's go back here. So the Lambda is gonna do some work based on the Lambda. If the Lambda was a success, it's gonna do something. If it was if it was an error, it's gonna stop the state. It's gonna inform basically the step function. So basically, I get the output, right? So the next state is check output. So I come here and I say, hey, check the variable message. If I receive success, go to the success handler. If I receive error, go to the error handler. And I have written, you could fire up a Lambda and, log on an RDS, DynamoDB, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, these are all the stuff, right? So basically that makes sense, okay? So how everything works. Now, what I'm saying is, let me show you the Python code now a little bit. So I made a function, I made a class called step function events. Basically just sends a success event or basically sends a failure event to the step function based on the token that you provide. So as I said, the whole jargon is basically the step function invokes the queue, passes the token. That token is along with this pass to the AWS Lambda. Once you have the token of the Lambda is going to do some processing, business layer, and it's gonna either gonna be success or a fail, and it's gonna respond back to the step function. If it does not respond back, it's gonna time out after 25 minutes. So that's kind of the idea. We have a handler here. As you can see, we create an instance of a class step function. We get the token from the body, right? We serialize the body, and then we get the token variable. And then I'm just saying that, hey, send a success token here. So it's gonna send a success, and here if something goes wrong, it's gonna send an error message. let me show you everything in action. That makes sense, but it's good to see things in action. So that's my state machine. As I said, I'm going to share everything in the description. So start execution, comment, insert your comment here. I'm going to start the state machine, and here you can see it did put the message on a queue, and here you can see task submitted. So messages on the queue. Now basically it's going to fire up a Lambda function based on that. So so as you can see, we get a red stuff because I purposely added an error in the code, and I want to show you that. So as you can see, raise exception error. So as it did this, it came to the exception and it basically sends a failure event to the step function. So the step function execution was stopped right there. Now let me show you. Let me comment out the typo that I made purposely. We'll deploy that. Changes deployed. Now I'm gonna basically invoke the step function again. So state machines, the foo one. Start execution, and we basically start the execution. So now it's gonna proceed. It's gonna go to this function check output because the lambda was a success, right? So it's gonna go here, then it's gonna go to a handler function. As you can see, it works like a charm, like amazing. So as you can see, it does a job. Whatever was defined on the task, it did its job. So yeah, you could write pretty complicated business logic in AWS step functions, invoke that using an API gateway. So the possibilities are really endless, right? What you could do with step function. Hope you have enjoyed this walkthrough. I would put the Lambda code and the schema for the state machine in the description section below, so you can check it out. As you can see, it's so powerful. You can have retry policies and a lot more with AWS step functions, Lambda, SQS. If he fails, we can publish that message to an SNS, and we could have multiple fan out subscribers that are subscribing to those messages, and do whatever we want based on the business logic. Hope this tutorial makes sense. I actually wanted to show you the code. Not much people on the YouTube are actually go step by step and with the code. So hope you guys did enjoy this tutorial. If so, do give a like. If you have any more questions, kindly list your question in the comment section. I would be very happy to assist you. Once again, keep smiling, keep coding, and see you guys in the next video.